31 Minecraft facts that you maybe missed. Minecraft is filled to the brim with different blocks, mobs, and items, so if you blink, you might just miss something. And that's why today, we're diving deep into the factoids that you might not have noticed before. And hey, the YouTube Council bets me that you can't subscribe to this channel before I dig down to bedrock. So, to prove them wrong, insta-mine that red sub button down below. It's free, and it helps out a ton. Number 1. Baby zombies are pests, to say the least. They've got a small hitbox, they're wicked fast, and good luck even trying to fight one of these with grass nearby. So, to stay away from these ankle biters, maybe your new solution should be to try and grab a strider instead. Because, as you can see, these mobs are fully capable of walking on top of the other mobs. Sure, a strider outside of lava isn't the fastest, but even then, they completely negate the baby's speed, which gives us a much needed way out of dodge, and one that I'm happy to take at whatever pace they're willing to give me. Number 2. Easter eggs are almost a rite of passage when you're developing a game, but after they're in, you have to wonder how many players will discover them, if at all. Take the desert temple for example. While most of us are focused on the treasure and TNT that lies underneath, there's actually more than meets the eye to the top. You see, this big hollowed out spot in the roof is actually the perfect size for a fully powered beacon setup. Still don't believe me? Well, lay out the blocks as you would anywhere else, and sure enough, there's even gonna be a sky roof so that the beacon can power up, which I gotta say is pretty nifty. Number 3. Torches are the most obvious way to light up a build. They're cheap, you can craft a bunch of them, and they also happen to work pretty well. So most of us don't tend to look for replacements that often. But if you were to take the time and scan through all of Minecraft's various blocks, there's actually a surprising competitor. For some reason, 4 sea pickles actually give off more light than a torch in the same block. No joke, these slimy sea things can outperform Minecraft's most iconic light source. So if you're really looking for a reason to build a pickle farm, at least now you got one. Number 4. While most of us use fireworks to self-propel our elytras, they do have properties outside of being rocket fuel. And even though we would typically just throw them into a dispenser for a quick New Year's show, actually, there's more we can do for that presentation. You see, since these rockets function as entities, there's actually ways that you can move and manipulate them with the game's physics engine. Which, in that case, partnering them with a water stream, you can actually move the rocket off course and change the flight pattern. So if you're really wanting that 45-degree angle for your perfect fireworks display, then hey, here's a way to do that. Number 5. Look, this is an easy one to miss, even if you do happen to be a crazy cat lady. But apparently, if you spawn a cat around a witch's hut in a swamp biome, it's always going to have the black cat texture. Which, come to think of it, makes some sense. After all, calicos aren't exactly known for hanging around a witch's brew. It's gotta be black to keep on brand. But that said, I do think it's kind of funny how black cats are the universal symbol of bad luck, but with a 100% chance of spawning here, luck isn't even a factor. Making this Easter egg weird in a lot more ways than one. Number 6. Minecraft's code handles item frames in some pretty strange ways. Because even though we can pick them up and place them like any other block, or decoration in this case, they're treated like entities. You can see as much when you get a bunch of them in one area. They're sure to cause a lot of lag. But stranger still, if you shoot the item out of one of these with a flame bow, then you'll actually be left with a permanently lit fire frame. Now, it doesn't give off any real light, but I guess it's a new torch design? If that's what you've been looking for, I don't know. Number 7. Phantoms are one of the worst pains in the game, and somehow these monsters are always going to find new ways to be a thorn in your side. Case in point, if you ever thought that dealing with phantoms on land was a bad nightmare, then fighting them in water is sure to be a rude awakening. Because, as you can see, the creature of the night sky can do surprisingly well underwater, even attacking you when you dive into the ocean. Nope, not even the water can keep you safe from these terrors. But hey, at least you can sleep down there. I guess that's one way to avoid them. Number 8. Wither skeletons are generally scary to come across. So just imagine if one of these had the range of the overworld cousin. Well, apparently that's a lot more fact than fiction. If you actually give a wither skeleton a bow, not only does it beef up the attack area, but it also gives it fire arrows to shoot. And in retrospect, it's probably for the best that Mojang didn't give them a bow from the beginning. The last thing the Nether Fortress needs is another flame shooter. Between these, blazes, and gas, you'd be lucky to leave the Nether without a few first-degree burns, let alone not getting burnt to a crisp. Number 9. Over the years, Minecraft has slowly added in new ways for world generation. And while most of us have messed around on a super flat or amplified world, have you ever seen one like this? This here is called the debug world, and it's a holdover from the game's development process. But you can't access it normally. To get this, you actually have to hold the shift key while you're scrolling through the world options, and then bam, it's there. And honestly, there's not much to do here since you're only stuck to spectator mode, but if you wanted to feel like a Mojang developer, or at least show off a special world to your friends, this is a pretty good candidate. Number 10. If you want to play Minecraft survival without the added challenge of, well, surviving, then peaceful mode is an obvious choice. Or so you thought. You see, even though this mode claims to remove all dangerous mobs, one spy seems to have slipped through the cracks. While playing on peaceful mode, the llama is the only mob capable of harming the player. I mean, I know spit is gross, but is it really that bad to be the only damaging thing in the mode? Well, luckily, these animals only attack when they're provoked. So in the meantime, maybe just stick to the truly passive cows for your leather, alright? Number 11. To put it lightly, beds in the nether do not get along. Although, I don't think the villagers got that memo. You see, even though beds are the equivalent of charged creepers to us, for these guys, they can sleep in them just fine. Honestly, I'm a little jealous. I mean, I would much rather just craft a bed instead of having to fuel up a respawn anchor in the nether. In fairness, they're not able to respawn, so why not let them catch some sleep in the nether anyway? It's not gonna mess with balancing. But my bigger question is, how are they able to sleep with all of that light and lava going around next to them? That I've got no clue. Number 12. If you've ever gotten rid of a wandering trader, then you know that llamas could be an aggressive bunch. Sure, it's to be expected, they're a neutral mob, but something about getting spat on just adds insult to injury. So if you too are tired of getting saliva sprayed by these bullies, there's actually a way to turn the tables. You see, a shield is decent for blocking, but we can actually go one step further and even deflect the spit. No joke, with a weapon and the proper timing, it's actually possible to hit the spit back at your foe. And now I just wish that it would give you the Return to Sender achievement as well. That'd be amazing. Number 13. Trapdoors and ladders make a great pair. And because of that, you might have noticed this quirk when you put it in your world. You see, by having a trapdoor like such, you can actually climb it to the top just as you would a standard ladder. But that said, it even works if you put the trapdoors and ladders in a pattern like this. And once you see how we can climb one of these, then it's a lot easier to see how this feature works. But trust me, it's only good for a party trick. Trapdoors are much more expensive than ladders, so you're much better placing your planks on the old favorite. Besides, it even looks better too. Number 14. I swear, even after playing Minecraft for 9 years, I'm still constantly learning new things to do. For example, I've played Bed Wars and Hunger Games hundreds of times with my friends, meaning I've shared countless pieces of armor, weapons, etc., any item you can think of. And somehow, in all of that time, I never realized that you could just hold down the Q key to throw out a steady stream of items. No, I would never do that. I would always just end up throwing it out of the inventory screen or mashing the Q button instead. And really, I don't know if it's all that practical, but now I know it's there, and maybe you do too. Number 15. Trapdoors seem to make for pretty lousy traps. I mean, if you stand on top of it, most of us know what it is, so we're not going to be surprised when it flips open. But what these lack as a trap for humans, they apparently make it up as a trap for mobs. You see, if you or I were stuck in this, we just hop out. But to the animals in the game, they can't just jump on these trapdoors, so that leaves them stuck inside. But what's weirder is that from the outside coming in, they can even clear the jump. So why the difference? Who knows? But if you want a fence alternative, this might just fit the bill for your future pens. Number 16. You ever wonder what it's like to be a mob? I mean, there are so many different shape-shifting and morph mods out there that I'm sure you've thought of it once or twice. And while those third-party options will give you one interpretation, there's actually a way to do this in-game. While in spectator mode, if you interact with a mob, you can actually see from their point of view, and some of which even offer up different filters and effects. So whether you want a creeper's green vision, a spider's reflective eyes, or maybe even just to be safe in a shulker shell, then by all means, go ahead and try this feature. Number 17. Water isn't all that bouncy. A bold statement, I know. But that might be unfortunate, because as you'll soon find out, these fish love to bounce around. And to test that, let's set up a slime block trampoline right over here on dry land. Then all it takes is spawning a cod in place, and you'll see that sucker take off to the moon and back. It looks like it's having a blast, but if you're gonna do this, maybe give the fish a health boost or something, so that this party doesn't turn into a murder mystery. So even though these fish might not like dry air, I think this might make their stay a bit more enjoyable. Number 18. When Crying Obsidian got added into the 1.16 snapshots, it was exciting for a few different reasons. Obviously, respawn anchors are cool in their own right, but the block actually has a past prior to that. So while you might not have played Minecraft back in 2011, there is still a way to relive that history. When you go into the resource pack tab, you'll see something called program art, and after you turn that on, you'll notice that the Crying Obsidian texture now reflects the old block's glory days. And with that, finally, Jeb's promise of it getting added in was fulfilled. Number 19. Unicorns don't exist in Minecraft, and call me crazy, but I don't think we'll get them anytime soon. But you know what's the next best thing? Getting to be a unicorn in Minecraft. Kind of. You see, by using the replace item command, it's entirely possible to put an end rod on the player's head and then become your own kind of narwhal. Is it practical? Of course not, but it definitely looks ridiculous. And honestly, the replace item command is just full of so many silly quirks anyway that if you have an afternoon, you might want to get familiar with it. Just mess around and see what you can find. It's well worth a shot. Number 20. Every now and then, Minecraft just doesn't make any sense. Nowhere is that more apparent than in the differences between Java and Bedrock editions. You see, in Java, we see a gold nugget as just that, something that you can use to craft a gold ingot, but that's about it. But in Bedrock, it's fuel, for some reason. When I first heard of this, I thought, there's just no way. But yeah, if you try it, it does in fact burn. But it's not even a good fuel source. You need about 12 of them just to smelt up one item. But if you're looking to burn some cash, I guess this does the trick. Number 21. Say you're trying to light up around your base, and you want something more than just a couple of torches. So, to solve that, you crafted a whole bunch of redstone lamps. But now your problem is, how do you power them? Sure, you can use a lever, but that's awkward anywhere you put it. And daylight sensors are only going to be on for part of the time. So, what do? Well, apparently, by putting an item frame on a wooden pressure plate, that gives off enough weight to actually power on the thing. And now you got a constant redstone signal, giving you a sleek and stylish way to keep your lights on. And thankfully, without all the bulky redstone. Number 22. It only takes one look at the Vanilla Tweaks website to see that Minecraft might have a few texture quirks. And while some of those are mildly infuriating, like the jungle door inconsistency or the smoker's unsymmetrical corners, this one's just plain weird. To see this, place a turtle egg and a diamond into your inventory. Notice any similarities? Here, maybe this helps. As it turns out, the diamond and the turtle egg sprites have the exact same shape. And honestly, I never would have noticed this on my own, but now that I see it, yeah, it's gonna be hard to unsee. Number 23. Enchanting your items is a great thing. Whether it's a sword, a elytra, even a hoe, there are plenty of different ways to juice up your favorite items. But what might just be the biggest flex of them all is to take something simple like a flint and steel and spice that up as well. I'm totally serious. In case you didn't know, it's possible to actually enchant this thing, even giving it the mending enchantment. And now, if we're being practical, I have no clue why you do this. But to be at a point in the game where you not only can apply mending and breaking to the thing, but also gather enough XP to charge it, that's next level. Number 24. On the whole, I love the different stone types that Minecraft has added in, but somehow I never seem to have enough when I go to use one. So if you too find yourself running dry on granite, diorite, or andesite, don't sweat it. Because apparently if you have enough quartz, you can actually craft each of them. And while some of this I get, the granite recipe just makes no sense to me. You need a quartz and a diorite to do it, so someone tell me how 2 white items are able to make this color. Because I've got no clue. But I guess I don't have to understand the logic to use it, and I'll definitely be crafting this in the future. Number 25. Chairs are a long-wanted feature in Minecraft. So much so that there are more furniture mods than I can count just for this reason. And while any of those would work in the meantime, I wouldn't expect these in a future update. So if that's the case, at least there is one way to make one of these in vanilla. You see, by tucking away a saddled pig, it's actually possible to make a sittable chair in the current game. And then, if you decorate it right, it could actually make for a pretty solid throne in the next castle. But just make sure to expect that your guests are gonna ask why your chair is oinking so much. Every pro's gotta have its con, I guess. Number 26. Jump boost is great, but it's not always a joy to brew up the potion, especially if you don't have plenty of rabbit's feet on hand. And while there is some way to get more height to your jump by doing damage boosting and the like, maybe let's try this instead. Trust me, it'll be a lot better for your health bar. You see, bubble elevators aren't just useful for getting up to your penthouse apartment. But if you build a formation like this, it actually lets you get off a 2-block tall jump. Sure, it can be tough to time, but when the alternative is lighting yourself on fire, I think the choice is clear. Number 27. Under the surface, Minecraft has plenty of hidden features that I don't think anyone would find naturally. Like, case in point, let's say you're raiding a woodland mansion, and for some reason, you brought along your trusty blue sheep. But to your surprise, just as you start to fight the evoker, he turns on the very thing you love and makes your blue sheep into a red sheep. Now, that's weird in its own right, but I think it's even funnier that the game rule mob griefing actually can prevent this from happening. Because really, when it comes to mobs damaging your stuff, this is what we're all worried about. Nothing else comes close. Number 28. Recently, it came to my attention that killing a wither skeleton with a charged creeper actually gives a 100% chance of it dropping a skull, which is cool, but clearly importing creepers to the nether is not that practical. Though, for those on Bedrock Edition, there might be a more viable option. You see, in that version, if a charged creeper kills a stray, then it also drops a guaranteed wither skull. skull. And since lightning and creepers only occur in the overworld, this seems a lot more forgiving. And if you do have bedrock, then by all means, why not give this a shot and make those Java friends jealous? Number 29. You don't have to play Minecraft for long to know that Endermen do not like to be looked at. But while a passing glance is enough to get them mad, apparently they're pretty honorable in a staring contest. Sure enough, the next time you look an Enderman in the eyes, all you gotta do is maintain eye contact. Doing that is enough to lock them in place. Seriously, they won't even attack. They'll just stare at you for as long as you stare at them. Now sure, after you look away, they will still attack, but maybe you can take that extra time and even just regen before the fight. After all, if you know that a brawl is coming, why not prepare for it? Number 30. Sometimes you gotta pick the lesser of two evils. So while sweet berries might be a pain while you're walking around, turns out they're invaluable when it comes to falling. You see, the way that Minecraft calculates fall damage, there are certain things that can reset your fall distance in midair. And as it happens to be, berry bush damage is one of them. Getting pricked by one of these, even if you fall from sky limit, is enough to take away all the fall damage and keep you safe. And if you really don't want to take any chances, this even works with baby bushes, which won't even prick you on your way down, which I'd definitely call a sweet deal. Number 31. What if I told you that there exists in Minecraft's code a secret rabbit variant? And no, not the killer rabbit you get with this command, but actually something more sentimental. By naming a rabbit toast with a name tag, it'll change into this texture. And what's sweet about that is that this is actually a tribute to a player who lost a pet rabbit with the same name. Mojang, clearly touched by the story, took the moniker and immortalized it for us all to see in game. So if you're looking to honor the poor thing's legacy, throw down that name tag and keep the memory alive. And with that, folks, close the book on that sub button down below and have a good one. All right?